Ending our month-long series on sexual assault, we spoke with Flagstaff police to find out how sexual assault cases are handled. In many sexual assault cases, survivors are often blamed and questioned by law enforcement and court officials. It is one of the problems that survivor Laura Gray Rosendale says needs to be addressed.
In many cases like this, they're concerned about the survivor being able to be articulate about what's happened. And the survivor also is going to go through a very difficult situation in the court systems. Potentially a lawyer is saying, well, what did you do to bring this on? How did you potentially cause this? And suggesting that it's the survivor's fault.
In Flagstaff, there are a lot of details police officers have to be aware of when dealing with sexual assault cases, like gathering evidence and learning how to compassionately work with survivors to avoid victim blaming. One important thing Flagstaff police want the community to know is that a survivor can remain anonymous if they choose to.
The investigation would move forward and we collect evidence the same way we do as a regular victim crime, and they go through and see it through to the court.
Sometimes survivors won't share their stories right away and are often fearful of not being believed.
I think a lot of this comes down to educating people and survivors being willing to come forward even when they know that they may not be believed. I think that that is one of the key things that is going to result in change around this.
But even if survivors don't have the clothes or items from when they were assaulted, police can still help.
There's investigative techniques that we can employ to help develop evidence or help get admissions or some type of evidence that we could use to prosecute in court.
After conviction, offenders are offered counseling programs. Although the programs are voluntary, it is one way to help them re-enter society.
I think they are effective, and if they do get released, there are additional protocols through probation or parole that are put on to offenders to help monitor them and make sure they stay on track with their counseling and treatment they received in prison, so that way they stay on track to contribute to society rather than re-offend.
The Sex Offender Registration Program is another way law enforcement and the community keep track of offenders to ensure safety. Sergeant Hernandez says education is a major factor in teaching the community more about the issues surrounding sexual assault. For more support or information, you can visit Victim Witness Services.